Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In conjunction with World Disability Month, values are very important. Um, Values are very important. That values are very important to mankind. And today, uh, today we are going to discuss how values are important and how can we the make it a better place for us and the world. Yeah. So today we have um, a very good friend of ours, Cody, from founder of Cody and Cat, Mr. Mr. Concat Singh, who is a Qigong master, founder of Cody Cat, and he's going to talk to us about the values. Okay, so question. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes, I'm glad to
Yes.
be
So
here.
let's get the ball rolling. Okay. So tell us more about yourself and family.
All right, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Cat, KD Cat, and I'm the co-founder of Cordy Cat, right over there. So basically, my wife is Cordy, I'm Cat. So together we're known as Cordy Cat, and together we have been teaching spirituality and things about subtle energies since 2010. So a lot of my work is having to do energy and spiritual healing. Right, we have our own spiritual and energy healing modality called infinity healing, and I also teach people qigong and meditation. And a large part of what we do is also to guide people in spirituality, and I would say also in humanity, how to be a better human, how to be a better person, and how to handle our daily challenges in life, based on very simple principles that we discovered. I won't say that we discovered. I would say maybe we rediscovered, right, through a practice and understanding of spirituality. So, and today the topic is actually values and how it can make us and the world better.
Yes.
Yes, Rashmin?
Yes. So continue.
All
Your
right.
question. Yeah.
So I shall just go ahead with my sharing. So I was invited by Rajvin over here to share on her podcast. And I'm happy to see quite a number of you, some of, I think most of whom I know. Okay, so I'm not sure whether, first of all, everyone understand the term values. All right, so I think the first thing I need to share with everyone, what do I mean by values? So I think the other word for values would be virtues. Right, and I mean things, very simple things, the way of being that is positive. All right, it will be something that's positive in nature. So positive plus be. So this is positive to me. All right, so they are positive. And it would mean things like, for example, love, yeah, kindness, compassion,
Dedication also.
yes, dedication, all these positive traits that people can have. We have a number of people from laughter yoga. So, what is good in laughter yoga? A value?
Uh,
Joy?
Sharing,
All right, sharing. All right,
giving, giving, gratitude.
yes,
Compassion.
yes, yes, gratitude.
Yeah.
All right, I think everyone understand. Does everyone understand what values? What do I mean by values? So, is this kind of virtues And the question is, how can it make us and the world better? So, first of all, let's talk about us. When I say us, I'm referring to individuals, right? Individuals. And of course, world is, beyond individual. Now, how many of you notice that you get into trouble, or we get into trouble? How many of us actually notice that we often get into trouble because we are emotional? Can I have a show of hands? No, nobody gets into trouble because you're emotional. or maybe for some of you laughter yoga people, you're too happy you get into trouble. Is
Yes,
it?
yes.
All right. Um, Now, I have a very simple model which I typically share with people who learn from us. Okay, so we talk about this. Usually, people talk about how things work is you start from having intention. Maybe I should put it this here. Right? Normally, we start off doing things by having an intention, and from intention, what will we do is we will make a decision, right? And after a decision, we will take action. And from action, we get results. Yes? So this is a very simple model that many people knows. If we have good intention, naturally we tend to have good results. All right, positive intention tend to have positive results because positive intention will result in positive decision making and positive kind of actions, and then you get positive results generally. So if your intention is negative, your decision making is negative, and then your actions tend to be negative, and then you get your results which are negative. I think people understand this. Is there anyone who doesn't understand this? Okay. Now, the main thing is this. Okay. Is there anyone here who actually admits or thinks that your intention is not positive? This is a very well-known model. Now, there's this problem with this model, and the problem is known in psychiatric or psychology fields, whereby the assumption is almost everybody think that their intentions are positive, right? Parent, even when a parent or a teacher smack a child really bad, they will say, my intention is good because I am trying to discipline the child, I am trying to teach the child. Correct? They will say the intention is good, but if you are a third party looking at the incident from the side, you will question it, especially if the beating was a bit too severe. You get what I mean? So, what is the problem with this model? Is everybody will just say their intention is good. Now, I, based on my contemplation and my meditation, I realized that this model is more accurate if we talk about what is I call the root intention, which is the first intention. Now, the problem with intention is most of us, when we do something, we will always find a way, a reasoning, a logical reasoning after the fact, and to change the scenario in our mind that such that our intention is good because we want to be good people. There are psychological studies on mass murderers, serial killers. When they interview the serial killers claim to have good intention, that they have they're trying to kill people, but they say that their intentions are good because they are getting rid of garbage, garbage of society. They're helping society by getting rid of certain people which they think are no good. So to the serial killers, they are of noble intention, of good intention. So therein lies the problem, and in some in psychological fields, intention is usually very shaky because everyone thinks they have the right intention or positive intention. But in my practice of meditation, I came to realize that that is not true because the intention that people can reason out or they can verbalize out is usually not the very first intention when they are taking negative actions. Usually, the first intention, all right, I call it the root intention, is the one. So, in the earlier example where I gave, whereby let's say a teacher or a parent, right, had to, end up beating a child severely, what actually happens? Now, when you go and ask the parents or the teacher after the fact, they'll say, my intention is good. I'm trying to teach or discipline the child. But if we are really honest, if the person was really honest, what happened was the root intention was negative. They had anger in them,
Anger, yes. It's
right?
true.
Anger in them, and then what they did was they acted out of their anger. So the initial intention was they want to smack the child.
Yeah. Anger causes trauma, right?
Yes. So what actually happens is there's something that happens before intention, and that the thing is usually there is something that comes before our intention or our root intention, and that is our emotion or emotions. Can everyone think, right? If you were to slow down and analyze your actions, most of the time, especially in negative scenarios, right? What happens is we get a rise of negative emotions. Negative emotions will result in a negative root intention in us. Let's say anger, anger or frustration, and then we will make a decision, a split second decision to act out due to this emotion. And what is going to happen is maybe the parent or the teacher will end up hitting the child, and then you have end up with a child, maybe very severe beating, and it becomes some serious negative result. So actually, a lot of us are acting due to emotions, and the emotions will cause good intention, and if it's negative all the way, negative, we have negative results. And on my journey, as I contemplate and I meditate on this further, I realize one thing. Because when we think about emotions, usually we are unable to control our emotions. Yes, is there anyone who's very good at controlling emotions? Most people are not very able to control their emotions, especially negative emotions. When the anger rises, just and then smack. Correct or not? But there is actually something I realize, something that determines what are the kind of emotions that rise up in us. And it's the values. If we cultivate or we are brought up with very positive value, then the chances of us having negative emotions are lesser. Imagine a person brought up in a dysfunctional family whereby there's physical and verbal abuse. don't you think the values will tend to be negative? And the person coming out of such a family or such an upbringing will tend to have display, or the negative emotions tend to rise up a lot. And if that happens, then the root intention will tend to be negative, and it will affect everything. Then negative decision, negative action, and negative results. Does Can everyone see what I mean here? So ultimately, the key thing that determines results in our lives is our values. I mean, and they can be all kinds. It can be like persistence, grit, right? Whether we give up in life or not, it depends on values. What kind of values the person brought up with, nurtured with, or choose to nurture in themselves. This will largely affect our emotions, right? For example, why do a lot of people fail in life? A lot of people fail in life because they miss this thing called grit or persistence. Right? Many people say they want great things. They want to be successful, they want to be so and so, blah, blah, blah. But why are they not able to do so? It's because they're not able to persist and day in, day out grind and do the necessary work and training in order to reach that kind of level. Right? Because they don't have this value. And when they don't have this value, right, if the values are not there, what happens? Emotionally, they tend to be negative. Can you imagine you're trying to be successful? You don't have this value of grit, or or the related values that are needed to give you success. What you're going to end up with is negative emotions. And when we are negative emotion, when you are in a bad mood, can I ask everyone, when you are in a bad mood, how many of you can do good things in your life? When you're in bad mood, do you end up taking positive action? How many are able to do that?
Me.
All right, Rajvin that, but most people can't. You get what I mean?
I can through laughter yoga.
Yes. So what is happening is a lot of people are making decisions based on their emotions, because the root intention is all governed by our emotions. And once our emotions are negative, let's say, I don't feel good, so today I'm just gonna not do anything. I'm just gonna, I'm just not to care. I don't give a shit about anything. Yes, and maybe just watch TV whole day, watch YouTube or surfing whole day. That is usually what happens. Now, if we can live in values, if we can remind ourselves what kind of values we want to have and to cultivate, right? Then we can change ourselves such that when we have positive values, ultimately we will have the right positive emotions. They will guide us in our root intention, such that we will make the right decisions and then take the right action and get the right results. All positive downward. And this way, values can make us better. And how can values make the world better? Now, this is something that is very close to my heart, because many years back, before I came up with this, I'm the kind of person who like to read the news, and I can be very soft-hearted, and I was very troubled because I was very troubled by news of all the wars, all the fighting, and you know and religions versus another religion. But that's one of the most painful things to watch, because religions are supposed to teach people to be good. Now, religions is one thing, and there's politics and all. And I realized one thing: there is no political party, that is based on values such as this. There is no religion right now. Now, generally, religions are about values, right? Religions are about values, but the problem right now with the world, I think, is the emphasis has shifted away from values. Religion has shifted away from values. It's talking about, who is more powerful, whose God is more powerful, maybe, and who is more right. My my religion is more right, okay? And the focus of political parties are supposed to be based on values. I mean, in the past, it was supposed to be based on democracy, right? Democracy. But somehow, democracy got tossed out of the window, and politics is now so divisive. Now, can you imagine? Can we all imagine a world next time whereby religions, instead of talking about whose God or whose religion is more powerful or more right, can we imagine if the world and people put values as number one? Can you imagine if the world put values as number one priority? Individuals, leaders, countries, religions, political parties. Can we have, when religions are all supposed to be of this, yeah? This is usually common in religion. If all the religions were to agree to put values as number one and not this, then all the religions will be, my religion is the most loving, my religion is the kindest, my religion is the most compassionate. Or political parties. All right, can you imagine a political party of love, a political party of compassion, or a political party of giving and sharing? Can you imagine how much the world will change? Because everyone will be fighting to be more loving, everyone will be fighting to be more kind, and there will be no more wars. There will be no more killing, and there will be no more suffering. This is what I want to share with you all. Values. And if you all can see how values can make us and the world better, I would like to ask you all to do one thing. Just one thing every day. Every day, can you spend 5 minutes or 1 minute with every meal that you take? Every meal that you take, before you take the meal, or the moment you wake up and the moment you go to sleep, you remind yourself what kind of values you want to uphold. And normally I tell people who are studying with us, you don't need to have a long list. Just choose 3, all right, if you can. An arbitrary number, just 3 values. Remind of yourself of 3 values which is important to you. Typically, I recommend this one value which is one which you're good at, one value which you're good at. If you think you're good at love, you do that. One value which you're not good at. All right. So if you think you're not loving, then you choose one value as love. Or maybe, okay, let's say you think you are good at kindness. I'll give you an example. All right. Let's say you think you are a kind person, so you choose kindness as your first value. And then the second, something that you're not good at. Okay, I'll give an example. Patience. How many people tend to lose patience?
Uh,
All right. So a lot of people are not good at patience, right? And then you choose a third one. It can be anything you like. Any value, any good value. All right. Any positive value. So maybe, can I suggest something like forgiveness?
Forgiveness and uh,
It can be
forgiveness.
anything. Suggesting forgiveness because a lot of us we get angry and then we don't forgive, and what
Oh,
happens then? And then we get angry with people for a very long time, and that is a problem, isn't it?
yes,
Now, if we can practice reminding ourselves of three values, you try to do it, a few times a day. You can do it, in the morning, few times a day. Remind yourself, remind few times a day. Few times daily. So maybe the first thing in the morning and the last thing before you go to bed, you remind yourself. And every meal, this is what I do. All right. In the morning, when I wake up, every meal, so I practice something like saying grace. So every time before I have my meal, I say grace and I remind myself what are the values I want to uphold, what I want to live by.
yes.
And if you can do that, you will change yourself. This is what I've been doing for over 10 years. And I've noticed that I myself have changed a lot. Okay. So I've become much more patient, much more forgiving. And I work on different values. And I hope that if you all can see how values can make us and the world better, practice this and maybe even share this philosophy. And together, we can make this world a better place. Thank you. Over to you, Rashmin.
So, my last question to you is: you have shared about yourself, you shared about your career, you've shared very interesting presentation on how values can make the world better, make us better, and the world better. My last question to you before we come to laughter yoga: what is your message to the world?
Oh, my message to the world is choose and live by values, and we can all make the world a better place. I really see the way I see the world right now is the world is um, lacking prioritization of values. The religions have somehow lost sight of prioritization of values. The countries, the way they are run, right? Um, Corporates, political parties, companies, a lot of leadership, they have lost sight of a lot of this type of values. And we end up in a world that is very materialistic, and very mercenary, and very, you know, it's more like survival of the fittest, and not many people are caring for the people who are weaker. So if the world and individuals, we start with individuals, or we start with individuals, we cannot expect the world to change if we don't change. And this is something that is come to be my mission. You know, I would like to spread this and share with people. This is the result of my contemplation and meditation, that actually values will solve the world's problems. We don't have to have the necessary solution to, let's say, climate change, to plastic pollution. But if enough people, our values are of love and caring and kindness, with the right values, with the right values, people will start to have the right emotions and right intention, and then the right decision making to take the action to get the results with respect to all the kinds of problems that we have, whether it's war, famine, climate change, pollution, plastic problem, whatever it is, or the loss of biodiversity. Once we have the right values in place in individuals, And in different strata of society, of humanity, this world will begin to change. And if everyone is fighting, we are trying to be more loving, we're trying to outdo. The political party A is trying to outdo political party B in kindness, in sharing and giving. Wow, the world will change in 1 or 2 generations. That's all it takes. But people need to see how important it is that values ultimately determine the outcome, the results we get in life. That's my message to the world. Values. Right? Make values your daily practice, your daily cultivation, and have a way of reminding yourself a few times daily. And I guarantee you, right? So let me just share a little how I do things. So I have my own values, and every time I am upset, every time I am unhappy, my values will help me calm down practically within minutes. Within minutes, and I'm able to respond again to the previous situation whereby I was upset in a more positive manner, because I make it a point to remind myself what it is that I want to uphold. So every time, let's say, someone make me angry or someone make me upset, it could be a loved one, it could be a stranger, right? I will catch myself, hey, my emotion is negative, and then no. I remind myself what my values, and then because I remind myself my values, my emotional state will change, and then I will be able to make better decision and take an action that is more positive, that will give me positive results. I do that practically every day. Every time I encounter problems or situations whereby I get upset or unhappy, and even if I cannot respond immediately, now there will be times when we are so emotional, we are so negatively emotional that we can't do it. So we may have to take a few hours to calm down. But after we calm down, what happens? We go back to this, remind ourselves the values that we want to uphold. And if, for example, for some people, one of my values is harmony. I I value harmony, and one of the things I uphold is harmony. So every time I get upset, I tell myself, no, this is not harmony, right? And I'm no longer in a harmonious interaction with the person that I'm upset with. Then I stop, I check myself, I remind myself I want harmony in my life, I want harmony with the people I interact with, and almost immediately, I can shift, and then I will reevaluate, right? I shift, I remind myself my values, my emotional state change, then my intention will be positive, isn't it? My root intention will be positive, and then I will make a decision and take an action. So, for example, I may have made someone angry or someone made me angry. And usually, when people are angry, both sides are in the wrong to various degrees. But it's okay. I will apologize first because I value harmony. So I don't mind. I will apologize first, and I will make it right. Whether it's my wife or a stranger, I will make it right because I value harmony. This is what I do. And I can't tell you how much this has changed my life. It has changed my life like totally. I'm not a very bad person to begin with, but it has really made me a much better person. So I don't lose my cool so easily, and I can end up having more patience, and I'm able to deal with a lot of negativity. So a lot of people, I can face negativity, and I'm normally able to harmonize it because one of my values is harmony. I remind myself that, and then I harmonize myself. Once I am in harmony with myself, then I can harmonize with other people. Because if I'm not in harmony with myself, right, how can I harmonize with other people? Okay.
with that, thank you for your very valuable sharing. Laughter is one of the best medicine for to create values. So for today's exercise, we are going to do um, appreciation laughter and forgiveness laughter. Appreciation laughter and forgiveness laughter is also one of the values we need to have in our life. Before that, I would like to uh, thank my mentor, Lee Jin, and all the participants here. I would appreciate if you could uh, on your uh, video cameras to have a lively session. Thank you. So this this laughter yoga has 4 steps: clapping, breathing, childlike play, and laughter exercise. And now recently, Dr. Madan Kartaria has added silence, which is relaxation or yoga nidra. So, so for today's session, we are going to cover appreciation, laughter, and uh, um, forgiveness, laughter. So, how we do appreciation, laughter is like this. Put our thumbs up, or thumbs and index finger, and laugh. Yay! Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! Um, 非常好，非常好，耶！耶！耶！The second one is um the second one is forgiveness laughter. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha. Please forgive me. Ha ha ha. I love you. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Ha 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 ha. So that is all for laughter yoga session. Now I would like to say that how values have transformed my life, especially after joining various platforms like knowing knowing Cordelia and Kat, and knowing Lee Jin, and knowing the rest of you here. As a finalist for Miss Amazing Malaysia Season 2, I believe that one of the important values as a laughter yoga practitioner is that we must learn how to love ourselves with laughter and joy. That is what is instilled instilled from laughter yoga happy and joyous club Johor Bahru. So every day I learn how to value myself with forgiveness, with values make me a better person. Values make me happy and joyous. Values make me positive and transformational. This is what these platforms have done for me. And thank you, thank you, Mr. Konket Singh, for a wonderful session. And thank you everyone for joining. And God bless. And good night. And next week on Monday, before I go for grand finals, we are going to have our wonderful start of season 4. Yay!
Congratulations.
Season 4! Season 4 with Shah from India from Mavin platform. The title will be tapping your potential to 2024. That means tapping your positive energy. So now I will stop the recording and we will take a picture together and question and answer. Open for one question. Thank you. Yeah. So now we will stop the recording. So good night, God bless, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Rashwin. Thank you, Kate.